Hey, what's up? This Killer Mike, a.k.a. Michael Render. Check me out on the Bootleg Kev podcast.
Hey, you're about to watch the new interview brought to you by Blue Chew. Get a month's supply of Blue Chew for free, fellas. That's right, BlueChew.com, promo code BOOTLEG. Right now, get a month's supply for free, helping you with that erectile dysfunction with the same active ingredient as Viagra and Cialis, but you don't got to go to the doctor. It's all online and it's delivered right to your front door. That's how we doing things. Let's get into the interview. Bootleg Kev podcast, man. Special guest in here, Mr. Album of the Year.
Yep.
Grammy nominated. Again, right?
Yep, 3-time Grammy nominated, one
Again.
time winner, three
Last time you got what I'd like to call snubbed.
Run the Jewels.
Run the Jewels got snubbed.
That's what they say. I remember being brokenhearted.
But you were right.
Yeah.
R2J4 should have been nominated.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. Well, listen, it's all good, though, because Michael is nominated. Killer Mike is here.
Yep.
Welcome.
What's up?
You do have the album of the year. I have my list. Yeah. You're number one. My number two album is not even a rap album, but I'm going to do my hip hop list. But you're number one by far, man.
Thank you. I said that to you, too.
Yeah.
In the studio, what do you mean? I know a lot of people just be saying crazy shit because they've seen it work for other people over the years, but having had put the work in, I wouldn't have bullshitted you. So.
Nah, for sure. Now, yeah, you played me a version of the album about 2 years ago. In Atlanta, and some of the stuff made it, some of the stuff didn't make it, but you've definitely, for people who don't know, and haven't heard you speak about the album, you describe it as kind of like your Wolverine origin story. Yeah.
Run the Jewels is very much the X-Men. It's like the Uncanny X-Men. Any number of characters would pop up and in and out, and depending on who your favorite character was, you knew their origins, where they came from and stuff. Wolverine had always been
Logan,
one of mine. Logan, I love. Magneto is part of the reason I named my company Villains.
Mike, let me get your mic.
Yeah, Magneto is part of the reason I even call my company Villains, because I believe villains aren't necessarily bad guys. You know what I mean? They just have a different agenda in terms of solving a big problem. But all that to say, Run the Jewels, man, rest in peace to Lola, you know what I'm saying, Gangsta Boo, Zach De La Roca, Josh Homme, Mavis Staples, 2 Chainz, Big Boy. All these people have been a part of the Run the Jewels universe. And I realized that my character, Killer Mike, this bad, swaggering, dope-ass MC that essentially is a 9-year-old kid named Michael, created and built out of his imagination. The story of Michael had never gotten told. People didn't know where Killer Mike came from or why, people interpreted confidence as arrogance and shit like that. But, when you grow up in the middle of hip-hop's, been around 50 years, but it's been giving a lot of kids, a lot of little boys, a reason to hold their chin up and swagger. So, I had to realize that I had to introduce myself to people. And that's what I did.
because this is your first solo album since rap music, right?
Yes, 11 years, yeah.
That's crazy. And for people who don't know, rap music is what kicked off Run the Jewels.
Yep. It was the pre-Run the Jewels,
Yeah. And it's crazy to think, I feel like 11 years ago was 3 years ago.
Yeah, it does.
It feels 3 years ago.
Yeah, it does.
But it's crazy. We've had a pretty crazy historical run that you've been a part of with LP, and I know you took your time with this project, and I'm just glad, man, that the Grammys got it right. I feel like a couple of years ago, there was a couple of Grammy nominations that I was glad to see. Royce got nominated and Freddie Gibbs got nominated. And when they nominated you a couple of times this year, I was like, thank God.
3 times.
3 times.
Yep. 2 for Rap Song of the Year, Rap Performance of the Year, and Sciences and Engineers.
And then Album of the Year.
And then at Rap Album of the Year. Yeah. And that's what I ain't gonna lie, I want it. Yeah. I want Rap Album of the Year because I'm proud to be a rapper.
Yeah.
I'm damn proud to be a rapper. A lot of people, they get Rap Album of the Year and they act like that's a snub. You know what I'm saying? People have acted as though in the past, I deserved the Album of the Year. Well, I personally feel like, I gave you the Album of the Year in terms of depth and human emotion.
Vulnerability.
Storytelling. I gave you what music is supposed to give you, whether it's the blues or rock and roll or soul or funk or rap. I gave that to you. But I care and covet Rap Album of the Year because for the last 50 years, this has been a driving, cultural force in this country. Rap wasn't even my music first. It was my mom's music. My mom was only 16 when she had me. So the first music I'm hearing from her is disco and early rap records, So it matters to me because of what Rakim gave to me, Eric B. and Rakim, because of what Run DMC gave to me, because of what Outkast and Goody Mob gave to me, because of what Nas' first 2 LPs especially gave to me. Yeah. When you start talking about Pharcyde, what they gave to me, Dale and the Hieroglyphics, what they gave to me, I win that award, I'm going to be the proudest person to have ever held that award, because I give a damn about being a rapper and an MC. This is not a secondary job. This ain't some shit I did because I couldn't play sports. This is not, and that's no slight to anyone. I was just too chubby to play sports. What's your frame of reference, Mike? Some of my best friends won an NCAA championship with UCLA. One of my other best friends got drafted to the Buffalo Bills. My other friends went to the Dolphins. So I knew, I ain't gonna be no athlete. I'm gonna be the best goddamn rapper out of my friend group. So I care. And I think that a lot of MCing is based on these days kind of acting as though you don't care, but I care. I want it.
I also think like you have one of the more unique paths to a Grammy nomination. If you just look at the way your career played out, like obviously coming out with Outkast and the whole world is where a lot of people were introduced to you. Obviously, your first album was incredible, and I feel like your first album isn't on Spotify or
Monster. I don't know. I don't think
Monster's.
I still ride old school. So
how do I listen to Monster? Because I'm pretty sure it's not on your Spotify account.
I still ride CDs. I still ride old school. So.
But it's crazy. And then you have your grind time rap shit where you're dropping mixtapes and you're dropping records like you're really on your shit. I mean, I first heard Pill through you and a bunch of young artists out of Atlanta I discovered through those projects.
Yep.
And then rap music is one of the best rap albums ever in my opinion.
Thank you so much.
And it kicks off this whole unexpected journey of Run the Jewels.
Yes, last decade, me and LP.
And, in a world in which rap groups, duos, etc. don't exist anymore, you guys have thrived in a way that, like, really it's like y'all and the Migos.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Shouts out to the Migos. Rest in peace of Takeoff. Shouts out to Quavo.
And for you to take all this time to kind of reintroduce the world to Michael.
Yeah.
And get the acknowledgement, get the nod, man. It's just a beautiful thing to see. So.
Man, I appreciate you. I want it. So, y'all send me some prayer, some good energy, and hope we move them people's hearts on that. Vote for the person who, first of all, again, has put together the rap album of the year, and beyond that, I really give a damn about it.
Yeah, and like I always so like obviously when I first heard the album, I always wonder a couple of things because you and your lady are amazing. You guys are obviously. She's been talked about by you a lot. I've met your wife a lot. She's cool as hell.
Shay Bigger.
Did you give Shay a heads up about the Summer record? Like, hey,
Summer?
I'm gonna write this song about this ex-fling from back in the day.
Nah, it wasn't my fling. It was my girlfriend.
That right?
I don't. Hey guys, ball up. No, don't just be a real nigga about shit.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And your wife was in love with somebody before she met you, even if she was 8. And
like you ain't one of one.
It was her count.
It's very rare that actually is the case.
Hey man, your grandparents say they was, but my
Yeah.
I know my granddad. My grandmama was a virgin. I can't tell you my grandfather was. Just saying. So I
such a dope storytelling record though.
Yeah, she had always heard the story because we talked. That's my friend.
Yeah, of course.
So I think that it wasn't a need to say, hey, I'm gonna go rap about this. I think she was just like, you finally got a chance to get it off your chest.
Yeah,
because it's something that I've been with, and it's been with me, and it's sat with me. And when I played the record for men, and for those who might not know what he's talking about, that you shouldn't be out there, but give Slumber a listen. It's a story of me at 15, 16 falling in love with a girl who's a year too younger than me, and us living like adults essentially for 2 summers. I'm thinking I'm trapping on rich. She in the apartment, so subsidized. So it ain't like we got many bills, but we live like adults, and we get pregnant. Right. And I have to go through the abortion process, with her, paying for it. And man, I played it for dudes, and dudes wept. And they said, man, nobody had ever expressed how I felt. I hadn't even been considered that I had feelings. And we knew it's traumatic for the girl, for the woman. Absolutely it is. And they deserve all the empathy and all the support around controlling their bodies. They deserve. But man, them little boys and the men and these young men that have had to take part in that, there is nobody sometimes to put the arm around the shoulders. So I know that was a difficult decision to make.
Yep.
And I know it's gonna stay with you. Or let me tell you, it's gonna stay with you. You're gonna feel a way about it. And so I was honored to be able to do it. And my wife is glad I got it out my chest. Now she's like, now you can stop talking.
Now you can shut the hell up. The world knows the story now.
Yeah.
For you, man, you have a lot of vulnerable moments on this album. Obviously, Motherless to me is like one that really, really stands out. I want to say when you play the album, For people who don't know, you had like a really cool album listening thing here in LA that was at like a Masonic temple. Or
Yeah.
It was
at a cemetery. Yeah.
It was at a cemetery.
It's a Masonic temple, but it was a cemetery.
But I remember just walking in and I'm like, oh, this is different.
The Illuminati.
Yeah. I mean? Just, like, yo, you joined the Illuminati. That's why you got the Grammy nomination.
Yeah, exactly.
We were hanging out with Freemasons. Yeah. But no, I know you got really emotional talking about the record because it's about your mom. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, my girl, man, Denise. She under here. Her and my grandmother. My mother was 16 years old when she had me, and we just grew up together. That was my girl. Right. Like that was the first person that introduced me to rap music.
Being 16, she's also kind of your friend.
Yeah,
too.
she was like my big sister.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's who taught me how to dance with a girl.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's who taught me how to approach a girl you like. That's who taught me how to take no shit. Don't be no sucker. And she wasn't no single mom. I had two dads. My dad, who's biologically my dad, and my dad she married. I had grandparents that raised me, grew up in a man and woman household, raising me and my two little sisters. But me and my mom just shared this special bond and friendship and kinship. And it was around, her saying, I wish I could be soft on you about some stuff, but you're the only boy I got, so you got to be a man. But at her heart, she was an artist. So she encouraged that about me. You know what I mean? So I want to lead a life that makes her proud, essentially.
For you, looking at the nominees of Rap Album of the Year.
Yeah. The Motherless record, I'm sorry. That record, just to say I got emotional about that record because I miss her. So anybody out there who has a mother, no matter your relationship, check in on her. Cause
I think we take advantage of those things.
My mom told me, she said, I know you think your grandmother is your mama because she raised you. But I'm your fucking mama. And that's the kind of conversation we have. And she said, and when I go, you gonna understand that. And the day she died, I've never felt that emptiness, and I know it doesn't get filled.
And a lot of people don't realize that until that day happens.
It's happened. Yeah, I didn't. Shit, she told me.
Yeah.
I tithe and make my offerings. I got a place in my house where I honor her. But with that said, like, man, I wish I could have said it while she was here. I get it.
It's such a beautiful song. It really, that's a record that I feel like could have been nominated for a Grammy.
It could have been. It could have been, should have been, would have been.
You know what I'm saying?
Will be one day. Who knows,
No,
maybe
for sure.
A remixed album or something. But I just know that I got to cover it all, album of the year.
100%. And an album to live to.
Yeah.
I was going to say, who do you see as, if you're looking at the other nominees for Rap Album of the Year?
Yeah.
I got my opinion, but who do you think is the album you got to worry about?
I don't know. I just know that I've listened to them all, and I like parts of all of them, and I respect the artists involved. But what I'm saying is, as I could sit down Drake and Savage, I could sit down Nas, I could sit down Travis,
Metro Boomin,
and I could sit down with Metro. I said Metro last because he's the producer. He put together Mars. I could put those artists in a room, and I could play my album, and something about my experience in my life is going to affect all of them off that album in a deeply personal way.
Right.
And you know what I mean? Like, in a deeply personal way. And I don't say that to be in competition with, but just saying I made an album that we all can bleed to. I made an album that we all understand addiction. We all understand the preciousness of a mother. Mm-hmm. We all are black men in North America trying to understand and make our way. I don't care what color Drake is in terms of how people argue about his biraciality and shit. Since he's been coming to America, he knows he's a black man if he's been in Atlanta.
Right.
He knows he's a black man if he's been in Houston or Memphis. So there's something on here for the worker class, the black man, and the women who love them, for all of us. So I believe that if we sat down at a table, I could have that argument with those men and say, this is why, like amongst the fraternity and brotherhood of MCs at that table, this is why I should. And listen to this, and it'll pierce your heart the same way it's piercing the audience's heart.
For sure, man. I think it was almost like a much needed medicine of hip hop. It's like somebody actually is making a vulnerable album to like live to, not to turn up to, not to TikTok to. It's just.
Well, I mean, you can still do it all. I mean, the intro of Down by Law made a TikTok. I was like, God damn, I'm gonna have to get in shape. Everybody gym shit was, the journey. And Rico was talking, and with that said, Exit 9, you cruise to.
Yeah.
This is a record you play, and 56 minutes later, after you drive from here to Pomona, man, I've just had experience. I feel like I saw a movie.
Right.
This is an album where when you clean up your house, by the time the album ends, you done finished that chore, man. Your laundry done and folded. It is a classic album in that it feels good, even the sad parts, even the parts that make you think about or reminisce on stuff that. But it makes you feel good. You feel more human after it. So, I'm just glad to be the conduit for that energy because hip hop deserved that in its 50th year. In the 50th year,
for sure. In the 50th year, for sure.
When people are talking about what sales are down and yada yada yada, I didn't know shit about sales when I first heard hip hop. I just knew I felt something when I heard it. It made me feel something, and that's what I did.
I'm curious. I first heard of a new Andre 3000 album when you spilled some beans that you weren't supposed to spill.
Stone, man. Damn, bro. Stone.
But when you revealed that and then kind of walked it back, at that moment in time, did you know it was a flute album?
I have no comment on any of this. I know if you want an Andre 3000 verse, there's an album called Michael.
And it's on there.
There's a song called Scientists and Engineers, and you should listen to it.
Have you gotten high to the Andre album? Because it's a great album to relax to.
Got high to it, got stoned. Well, I'm stoned, period. I'm stoned if I'm listening to Metallica. I'm stoned. But I was curious to hear it like everybody else. And I play and I smoke and I'm going to probably eat some shrooms.
It's good shrooming music.
I'm proud of Dre and Big Boy because they are out of a talent program called Tri-Cities High School that also produced Escape, that also produced KP, one of the greatest A&Rs ever come. Yep, shouts out to KP, KP the great DJ as well. It just produced some amazing artists. And those guys, like I tell you about keeping that inner child alive, Big Boy's kept it pushing and going, giving us new styles, variants, whether it's Phanogram or whatever new invocation of Big Boy.
I mean, he's helped us. He's introduced so many artists to us.
So many, man. I love him. And with Dre just being an artist in that, waiting until he's ready to make art and get people interested beyond what they thought they were interested in, I think is amazing. So I'm very proud of him. I'm very proud of Big. Cutmaster Swift, their DJ, did all the cuts on Michael. He's coming back in with us as we do make more music because he's an amazing trumpeter, singer. So the Dungeon family lives.
For sure.
Pat, Ray, and Reek still doing beats. Like me, I got a beat I'm riding around right now. So for me, man, I'm proud that for whatever compels you, he's being compelled to do something.
Yeah, it's crazy because I just had Victoria, Janelle Monáe. I was going to say Victoria Monet, Janelle Monáe on the show, and we were talking about her purple ribbon run.
Yeah,
because I don't think a lot of people kind of give the proper respect to that Big Boy roster of artists.
Big Boy is an amazing. He's an amazing guy in terms of picking talent and doing business.
For sure.
Sometimes you're just a little ahead of the curve.
Yeah, Purple Ribbon All-Stars was so good, and it was so many names are on there. Like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Rest in peace to Nate. Super Nate died of cancer last year. So rest in peace to him. Shouts out to Black on C-Bone, little bruh.
Mm-hmm.
Shouts out to Sleepy Brown. Shouts out to Janelle.
Bubba Sparks.
Shouts out Bubba.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure, man. For you, man, talk to me about I know the focus is Michael.
Yep.
How many times have you been in with LP in the last 12 months working on music, if any?
Man, we've been together because we were touring. We haven't worked on any music.
I'm talking about working on music. You guys had the tour. By the way, I'm still very mad that the Rage tour never happened for me to see with my own eyes.
I wish you would have
come to
New York show.
COVID.
Yeah, COVID killed
Fuck COVID.
And I'm glad Zach is healed up back on the mix. And congrats to all the guys that got inducted in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Rightfully so.
Yeah. The way Run the Jewels usually work is L treks off into he treks off into the wilderness somewhere and probably kills bears and eats them and lives as a wild man and then comes back with a plethora of beats.
I feel like you'd be the guy to kill bears and eat them.
Nah, I'm definitely down to kill shit and eat it. Usually, we prefer killing deer and hog where I'm from. But
I just went hog hunting with that Mexican OT.
You had fun down in Texas. You had a ball, right?
It was so much fun.
Who dressed them for you? They already had someone on site to dress the hog, cook it, make sausages, all that for you? Well, not cook it, but
we just killed him and left him.
No.
That's what we did.
No, you're not supposed to do that.
I swear to God, out in Texas, they're like pests. I don't know.
No, but you're supposed to fucking eat them. It's a hog. You're not supposed to.
So we killed a couple of them, and then we came back, and like a pack of coyotes or something.
Okay, all right, that's what
destroyed them.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I'm just saying you're not so. I know they're like they're so feral out there, but I kill something, I'm gonna eat it. Like I'm sorry, I'm not sports fishing. I'm not putting a fucking bass back. That bass get caught. That bass getting ed. That's my grandfather say. I'm edding it. So.
Yeah, no, I mean I kind of felt. I mean because I've never been. That's the only time I've ever been hunting.
You're good though. You should do that.
It was fun.
Everyone should do it. At least gets out once a year. Do something.
We also were doing it out of a helicopter.
Yeah, I've seen it. Colin Noor. Shouts out to Colin Noor, who I did the interview back years. He go. I've seen him go out and lean out the helicopter or a video of him doing
I was
that.
fucking spooked.
That shit was dope.
Yeah. Hey, we're going on a hunting tangent. Back to you and LP. So LP, he goes out and he kills bears and does whatever he has
and he comes back with a plethora of beats on a hard drive. Like, what do you think? And what I think is usually, oh shit, this is the fucking album. And, like sequence and everything, damn near like, oh my God, this is it.
And then from there, it's writing time.
And then we're just in there. It was vibing more than writing. We just start playing shit. Like he came out here. We were out here. I forgot when it was. It might have been a year or might have been just over, but he came out. We were in different hotels, but he came over to a spot I was at, and he just played something for me. And he had part of a verse on it. And I said, oh, let me get in there. And I went in there, man. I spazzed on that shit. Like I'm like, oh shit. So, to me, I'm just like, I want to finish that one. And whenever we finish that one, if he come with the others.
We might get RTJ5.
Nah, I mean.
It's got to happen one day.
That's something I cheer for. But again, we're just, it's when it's going to happen, like when it happens. But until it happens,
Michael,
if you're looking for a Dre verse,
Michael,
or if you're looking for one half of Run the Jewels, I got LP verse. I got both of them on Michael.
And it's like, and even the record with LP on the album is like different for y'all.
We got good dope on the street. Yes. That's all I'm telling you, man. We still here for you, man. You want to hear Run the Jewels? You need to listen to Don't Let the Devil. It's a no ID beat with an LP chop on it.
Different. It's
LP chopped it. So and Taco was on the drums on there, right? Yep, Lil Shalimar, who's one of the Run the Jewels co-producers. He was on there. So yeah, man. So I got the dope.
You do, man.
Come get the dope, man.
Come run it up. Hey, what up, y'all? You already know my bookie, man. We just made so much money this past weekend. If you did not get in on that crazy deal that we had, it's all good, man. You can still get down with that free deposit bonus up to $200, all right? Right now, if you go to mybookie.ag, we're gambling on NBA, we're gambling on football. I've been murdering the NFL. Murdering it. I do these 4-team super teasers. You get plus 13 on NFL games. Listen, if you can't hit a plus 13 teaser, I don't know what to tell you, but I will tell you this. When you go to mybookie.ag, you sign up with a new account, you're going to get that first deposit bonus using the promo code Bootleg. You've got to use that promo code Bootleg. Mybookie.ag, promo code Bootleg. They're going to give you free money to gamble with. That's right. It's so easy. What are we talking about, man? I've been running it up on my bookie for almost 10 years. You know what I'm saying? They reached out to me and they were like, we'd love to sponsor your podcast. I say, check my accountant ID, buddy. You've already been taking a lot of my money. It's time we get some of that back. But I've been on a roll with my bookie, man. So go to mybookie.ag. They got the casino, live blackjack, roulette, whatever you're into, craps. They got the slots. But most importantly, we're talking about the sports book. You could also cash out early now. What? Let's say you hit 3 out of 4 of the legs on your parlay. Cash that bitch out. Take your money and go back to your bed and go to sleep. You know what I'm saying? mybookie.ag. Promo code Bootleg. Get that deposit bonus right now. Wherever you're at, we all good with MyBookie. Also want to give a shout out to our folks at Imperial right now. Salute to Imperial Extractions. If y'all don't know, Imperial Extractions, they're OGs in this, man. They got 16 years of experience when it comes to this West Coast cannabis scene, all right? Imperial Extraction, look, this is what they do. Straight premium luxury products. If you're a smoker, if you're a toker, you know what I'm saying? Whatever you're into, they got it. And right now, we all love free weed. I know I love free weed. Who doesn't love free weed? You can get a free 2-gram THCA diamond-infused pre-roll. Premium cannabis in it. Of course, if y'all ain't heard, 16 years experience, and now Imperial Extraction, they're throwing their hat into the hemp game. That means that this can get delivered to you wherever you are. Wherever you're at. Legally, it's getting delivered to your door. LA King Kush cereal milk. We got flavors for days. White berry runts. Come on, man. This is the most important thing. Go to ImperialExtraction.com. Use the promo code BOOTLEG right now. They're going to send you one of these straight to your door for free with your order. Who doesn't love free weed? We're talking about a 2-gram premium luxury pre-roll. Look at these glass tips. Come on, man. This ain't that bullshit. This that real shit right here. You bust one of these bad boys open, there's diamonds in here, bruh. You know what I'm saying? I'm just letting you know. All right? If you want some free weed, ImperialExtraction.com. ImperialExtraction.com. Promo code BOOTLEG. Get you a free pre-roll sent to your crib right the fuck now. Let's get back to the interview. Do you see my tweets? Like once every 2 months, I tweet that you should run for president.
Probably.
Have you seen these tweets? I swear every 2 months I'm tweeting, will Killer Mike just run for president?
I don't want them people to kill me. I want to rap. I want to build some business.
Would you ever, like I know you've been asked if you'd ever run for office, but like I could see somebody getting elected eventually and making you a part of their cabinet.
You know what? I remember when I think one of the Bushes put Arnold Schwarzenegger on their cabinet over physical fitness. And that's one thing I've seen in my life. I said, that made all the sense in the world.
Yeah, now because you see Arnold and you're like, yeah.
I'm like, putting a brain surgeon, who I have an enormous amount of respect for, over housing and urban development was a little quirky for me. But Dr. Ben Carson grew up in the housing projects.
Right.
I would have liked to have seen Dr. Ben Carson, while he was over the housing projects, institute some type of mandate that gave kids options and benefits for learning.
Who's doing that now? Buttigieg?
Is it Pete? No, I thought Pete was doing transportation or something.
Yeah,
I could be wrong, but he could be over here. But I always thought that was an opportunity missed, because I thought that if Ben could have figured something out between health, HUD, and education, that we could have been educating kids right in the housing projects differently. So if I did something in the cabinet that made sense, I'd be honored to. But I doubt.
So you'd be open to that?
I'd be open to that, because I could do something effective and I wouldn't have to prostitute myself for money.
Right.
Because the person that hired me would have already done that.
Like, had the DNC not like fucked over Bernie Sanders, I feel like you would definitely would have been in the cabinet.
Yeah, I was really a believer. And whatever the old guy was, even if I wouldn't have been in the cabinet, I would have helped.
You would have been in there.
I would have helped in any way.
And you guys, it's crazy because like you are such a leader, and I feel like when I think of like the word activist, that is a word that gets thrown around. And I think about like how you and Bernie show up to like the Amazon strikes.
Yeah, down in Alabama. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, that's something that like you're working on albums, you're touring, but like somehow you still find the time, you still find the energy to like still stand up and just be the voice of the voiceless.
Well, you know what? No, man, it's not just me. And I consider myself a product of the worker class in this country. I am. Both my dads, my grandpa, my grandma, working class people, hardworking, decent people filled with integrity, good morals, and they just wanted better. If they'd made mistakes, they learned from those mistakes and pushed forward. So, for me, I'm not the only one. When you look at Senator Nina Turner, I feel like she should be the leader of the progressive movement in this country. I think that for us to talk about, and I'm talking about my community, the Black community, for us to talk about progression and not be talking about her actively is damn near crime. Like, what's wrong with us? It's like ignoring Malcolm in the 60s, which people did.
They did, yeah.
People ignored Malcolm, and after he was dead, all of a sudden he had more fandom. And because of people like Dick Gregory, when people say celebrities don't mean much, because of people like Dick Gregory, his name stayed alive. People like Spike Lee, his name stayed alive. So for me, my thing is Teslin Figaro, who now pops up on the Breakfast Club, has her own podcast and is also does work with Revolt. Teslin is an amazing political mind, and part of the reason I stay, just in know of what he is because I constantly communicate with people like Nina. I constantly communicate with Nina, with Teslin. Jennifer Farmer is an amazing publicist out of the Bernie campaign. She's some Black woman out of Ohio, but just brilliant when it comes, So my thing is stay in touch with the people doing the work, and less of an organizer now because my day job takes me away, but more of a mobilizer. How do you get people there? By the time Dr. King was maybe 2-3 years before he got out of, here and was assassinated by this government, is my belief, Dr. King was a mobilizer. When he show up, they knew people were going to show up. But people organizing on the ground included people like John Lewis, included people like Reverend James Orange, included people like Stokely Carmichael, also known as Kwame Ture. That's who we need. We need more of y'all.
Right.
I'd love for another Killer Mike to pop along. You know what I mean? But until that happens, you got to congratulate the people that are working their ass off to try to be the best they can be. And I think that they are worthy of our support locally. But look, hyper local. I want to tell people that don't be so enamored by what the television is telling you to argue about.
Be involved with the councilman, the local
hyper
councilman,
local. Before you even get to your councilman, what do your 10 neighbors think of the street? See, I learned this first from my grandmother. My grandmother didn't like the way sanitation was leaving people garbage cans or something on the street.
Right.
She didn't think enough care or concern.
Right.
And so she took it to city council. She was angry about it. And she didn't get satisfied with what she heard. So she went and sat in the mayor's office till he saw her. She literally just went and sat in there until she complained. And she still didn't get what she wanted. And within 2 weeks, we were on Channel 5 News. With my grandmother saying, this is how they do the black folks in the black community. All of a sudden, we've never had issues with sanitation. Again, because that black mayor wants to get elected, that black city council person, and they say they want to do good for the black community. Well, put our garbage cans down respectfully, because we respectful people. We clean our yard. And she was my hero in that fashion. And I want more heroes like that, because that's the way you create a Killer Mike. You create a Fannie Lou Hamer. You create all these people that care, that aid the people that may be the tip of the spear. Baynard Rustin, you create these people by being hyperactive. So whoever on a local level in your town is doing something, take some time to help them out.
I was going to say, like, it feels that, what would be your message for people who are so just exhausted with the process? Because it feels like a hopeless political landscape nationally, worldly things are like, obviously we got wars going on in the world.
I say, listen to what I just told you. What I tell
just focus on what you, because what you can really control is your neighbors. Is you could stuff.
If you all do a little, nobody got to do a lot. If all you do a little bit,
100%.
If all of us do a little bit.
I'm wondering, man, for you, have you thought about my boy Jelly Roll just had a speech that went viral?
Shouts out to Jelly, man. Oh, thank you. Jelly was one of the first DMs I looked at when I got nominated, and I've been cheering for him all year.
Yeah,
I literally been cheering for him.
And it's crazy because people don't realize he kind of comes from that like underground white boy rap world.
I'm a Southerner, so Lil White, Jelly Roll, all that.
Haystack.
It's not Yellow Wolf, my brother. Rich, you don't miss it, because we all from the same place. Might have been a trailer park, might have been a project, might have been just
a American citizen,
but
man.
It is, man, and it's like. So I was cheering for him, and we share a lot of similarities. You know what I'm saying?
You guys each have very unique paths to where you currently are.
Yeah. When I heard his Grammy speech, my sister sent it to me because she loves him to death.
Yeah.
And she said, sounds like somebody I know. Get your speech ready fast.
Yeah, you got to have it, because it's funny. So my co-host for my radio show, James Andre Jefferson Jr., he's like, man, he goes to a black church every Sunday, and he's like, man, they played Jelly Roll's speech at church, bro.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I was like, what?
Yeah, man. Hey, man, God gonna make a way.
Such a crazy, it's just so dope to see somebody like that who's been like a peer, a friend, and just to have just this whole other and if you ever have known Jelly, he's always been this guy who you're like, man, if people just talk to you, they'll love you.
If they gave it a chance. So many people. And again, congratulations, Jelly. I love you. I love you. I love your family, man. You and your wife are bomb. I'm happy for you. I look forward to 40, 50 more years of you just doing it dope. My thing is, man, just give folks a shot. My thing is, I didn't want to die without you really having met Michael. And give me a shot. I knew you hadn't listened to me. Because everything you say you missing in rap, I already am. I was already giving you. Dope. And I'm glad that you didn't, or you turned deaf ear to me for as long as you did, because it gave me an opportunity to find the discipline through Run the Jewels of how to take 2.5 years to make Michael. It took me 10 years of being with Run the Jewels to understand I am building a community. I'm not just talking to an audience. It took me 10 years to understand, now 7 years, because I started about 3 years ago. It took me 7 years to understand now it's time, and I take it seriously, and not seriously to the fact it ain't fun.
Right.
Or you and your old lady can't get blasted to it and go to the flame and eat some chicken wings and see something drop. But I take it seriously in that I'm trying to give you, or I know I've given you, a level of quality that you deserve as a listener. Hip hop is looked at as something that does not involve high art and culture. Or if it does, it doesn't involve it from a working class standpoint. You know, somehow in order to be of high standard, you have to be collegiate, or you have to wear, you know, weird shit with weird fucking names.
Right.
You know, I'm wearing an Ebbets Field jacket and I feel stylish as a motherfucker because this motherfucker made in America. Right. And it's about football. And this is the good jacket my grandpa put on when he wasn't working, you know.
I love that.
And that's what I'm about. I take pride in this shit. I take pride in the fact of knowing that whether it was Pony or Puma or Nike, we did that. Right. We created sneaker culture.
For sure.
Nike doesn't happen without hip hop in the same capacity. It just doesn't. Starter doesn't happen without hip hop.
You could literally name anything.
It doesn't happen. So
Balenciaga.
I take this shit.
You know what I'm saying? Like
I take it that seriously. I love this shit, dog. I love this shit to my core. I love this shit to my bones. This ain't some shit I'm doing on the way to somewhere else. You know?
You guys have done such a great job of, in a world in which it feels like the business model of being a rapper is extremely hard if you're, especially an independent rapper, right? Like,
it ain't easy.
It's not easy because if you're just looking at what a million streams pays you, right? Yeah. It feels like almost like a hopeless climb up a mountain in order to really make a career or be able to just support yourself, let alone your family, right? Yeah. You guys have done such a good job over the last 10 years of monetizing the brand, right? What are some things that you're doing with Michael, whether it's obviously the tour was successful. Yeah. You know, I think I always tell people, like, if you got a fan base and you don't have a hard weight, obviously people are going to stream it, but you want them to buy the 12-inch vinyl. You want them to buy a CD, a tape.
Man, I'm not going to pretend to be no mastermind. I follow my brother Currency, man. Shouts out to him.
Spitter, man. Who's on the album?
Yeah, him and 2 Chainz. They on my Dope Boy record. Usually your Dope Boy record, you're hearing we sold the most dope. But sometimes Dope Boys just throw a dope barbecue and invite all the other Dope Boys to come out, and you see their cars, and you get motivated to do good in school because your mama tell you they did good in school. That's why they got it. That's how our record hits me. When that Spaceship Views, so I got to figure out shooting something to that. But Spitter, I love the relaxed ways that hint like him and Musa move, like, because it's just, he do what's genuinely him. I remember going down there when he had the car shop. You could go get your brakes and fuck around and have a 30-minute convo with Spitter because he's there. You know,
that's crazy. Imagine getting your brakes done and you're hanging out with Currency.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the kind of shit I'm into. So I've just leaned into the shit that I love and like. My wife and I built in the swag shop over the last 11 years. I bought that when I was recording rap music. I sold my 95 Impala and bought the swag shop off Craigslist, the first swag shop. And
I've been to that one.
Yep.
Yeah, I've been to the first one, yeah.
Yep, that's on Roosevelt Highway. We got one on Edgewood. We got one at State Farm Arena. We rolling out 2 to 3 next year. You know, I'm like, I've had it 11. It took us 5 to really kind of figure out what we were doing. I just always wanted to have a barbershop. It's a cool place to hang out. I have to wait in line. But what we realized during COVID, especially when we closed, moms were DMing me like, don't close y'all shops. Y'all shops is one of the only places that I can bring my boy. I know he's in the company of good men with integrity.
Right.
I'm treated with respect. There was just, and then they say, man, we love when y'all do the little T-shirt drops and stuff. So we were like, man, we're going to have to be paying rent. Let's just press up some shirts. And what we realized is, man, you are a brand operating as a barbershop.
Yeah,
so,
I mean, I think I got a new era.
Yeah, so we got more new era stuff coming.
Yeah.
We got more T-shirts and stuff coming. We got more product, everything with cigarette lighters, ashtrays, cool stuff coming. But we're a barbershop, and we've spent some time figuring out what kind of shampoos I like. I hate to smell girly, so it's not like I'm using my girl stuff. I hate I don't want to smell like Old Spice like my dad, you know what I mean? So we developed, I got a shampoo conditioner thing coming out. I got some shaving cream coming out, beard balm. I just got some cool stuff that you can just buy when you're at the shop. You getting a haircut. So I'm excited about that, to see what that's going to do, because I know that as a man, I don't like going into beauty supply stores. As a guy, when my Jordans drop, I might have no problem paying $200 for the Jordans, but I don't want to pay $150 for a T-shirt.
Hey, what up, y'all? We got to stop the interview, tell you about our good folks at King Palm. That's right. Let me tell you about King Palm, man. It's all we smoking over here. What I love about King Palm, terpene-infused flavor in each one of these. These are the margarita. Now, this is kind of the wave I've been on recently. These margarita ones are fucking fire. No tobacco, no nicotine, straight raw, organic, fresh leaves. And what's dope is they got the tip. You squeeze the tip, you hit one of these boys, and you just get hit with that flavor, man. You get hit with that flavor no matter how big or small the palm is. You know what I'm saying? This is what's dope too. King Palm, if y'all don't know, man, they're one of the leading brands when it comes to this real, like, organic smoke life. That's why I like them. I like to smoke clean. Nothing smokes cleaner than a King Palm. So if you're in your hood, you're in your neighborhood, you're in your motherfucking city, your area, wherever you're at, go to your local liquor store. They're going to have King Palms, all right? So pick them up there. You could also go to 7-Eleven. Or this is what I suggest you do right now. Come on. Shout out to the King Palms, man. Go to the website, kingpalm.com. If you go to kingpalm.com, you use the promo code Bootleg. This is what we're doing. 50% off whatever you order. They got so much at kingpalm.com. Not only do they got the leafs, not only do they got the grinders, not only do they got the ashtrays, they got them all. The cones. 50% off. All the smoking accessories, all the leaves you need, all the flavors. 50% off. kingpalm.com, promo code Bootleg. Also, speaking of shit you're going to get some money off of, our family, our dogs, our listen, I'm going to Tampa to go DJ for these guys' holiday party. Odd Socks, baby. The holidays are here. Now is the time to go to oddsocksofficial.com and use that promo code Bootleg. All right? Use it right now, and guess what? You're going to get 20% off at checkout. Now, the dope thing about Odd Socks, they got all the crazy licenses. They just locked down Coca-Cola recently. Yeah, look at those. They just locked down Hasbro, so they got Power Rangers, Transformers, all that. I mean, look, they got Cheez-Its, bruh. You know what I'm saying? They got Hershey's Chocolate, bruh. They got WWE. They got Breaking Bad. They got Top Ramen. They got the drawers. They got the socks. They got the slippers. They got the hat. They got the belt. Whatever you need, oddsocksofficial.com. Load up for the holidays. Gift Odd Socks to your loved ones. Whatever they're into, there's an Odd Socks for it. Oddsocksofficial.com. Use the promo code Bootleg when you check out. Save 20% off. Let's get back to the interview. What's your favorite J?
My favorite J, my favorite, let me give you my favorite all-time Nike, the 87 Air Max.
Okay. You got Air Maxes on now.
Yeah.
But not, you got, what are those?
The 87.
Those are, yeah.
But yeah, so that's my favorite. J's, I just.
Whatever. Yeah. I'm a Jordan. Jordan 3s.
You like the 3s?
The 3s.
I like the 4 to me is the most all around.
It's the 3 or 4 for me. The 3 is very uncomfortable, but it's just such a.
I probably like the silhouette of the 4 the best.
Yeah, 4 is amazing. Yeah. No, it's and then you guys just dropped your own Nike SBs.
Yeah, we did, man, we did.
Hey, what's up with? Are you ever going to do a new season of the Netflix show? It was so good.
Trigger warning, we're gonna see something cool.
It was amazing.
Man. We got some. Thank you, man. We got some. I got the chops for this shit, man. So
and then you had a show on Facebook. What was?
Yeah, that was the Rolling with Killer Mike. That's coming back too.
So yeah, but the trigger warning was the one.
The trigger warning was one.
The fact you like the Crip Cola,
and Blood Pop, yeah,
that shit was legendary.
Man, we got more coming, man. We got more coming. It's if you haven't seen it, go watch it and just hit me up and let me know what you think about it.
It's still on Netflix.
Still on Netflix.
Do you feel like we're turning the corner? I mean, obviously the name of the show is Trigger Warning. A lot of people for the last 5 or 6 years get triggered easily, and there's a lot of online outrage. You've been subject to some of that when you did with the gun thing.
I don't give a
people
fuck.
Were coming at you crazy. But I wonder, do you feel like society's turning a corner when it comes to like some of the like more sensitive, like people just have been like all time sensitive?
I don't know. I don't care. I learned my lesson. My grandfather was who he was for a reason. I bet you if the world go down tomorrow, the power grid shut off, I bet you my family and me eat.
You got to.
We'd be okay.
Is the crib sustainable? Do you have like?
If the shit stops tomorrow,
you'll be all right.
I'm going to be okay. That's what I'm saying.
What do you like? Because what do you have in place?
In matters of being triggered, I just like to tell people, man, don't let that anxiety get to you, man. Just take care of yourself. Do right by yourself and do right by other people. Because if you keep worrying about what the world's going to do, you're never going to take time to live. You're going to waste your time worrying. Now, just, in telling whatever your version of the truth is, just remember on the other side of that truth is somebody else's thinking or feeling or logic. And on the other side of that may be some repercussions. And whatever those are, they are. But, man, I make sure my kids watch George Carlin. I make sure my kids watch Richard Pryor. I make sure my kids, because you need to make sure that there's a healthy human distrust of systems.
Mm-hmm. I think we've gotten rid of like what you just said is like however you feel, whatever your truth is, the other side, that's their truth. Yeah. You know,
doesn't make it the truth.
It doesn't make it the truth, but there's got to be some dialogue.
Man, I got on the plane to come out here, and I watched something my gay uncle watched 30 years ago, and I just was too young to even understand to watch it at all. And I got a chance to see a lot of stuff because my parents were so young that other kids wouldn't have seen. But Paris is Burning. Such an interesting movie. You know, it's about these gay kids in New York and about these drag balls that they're throwing. But what I learned about poverty, and I had a friend named Kevin, man. He was an amazingly brilliant organizer. He was a kid whose parents, because he was gay, had kicked him out, and he lived in a foster home of sorts. And I saw him be used and abused by older men in terms of you could tell the stories. You know, I was hip enough to know if he came in with a black eye, what something happened. You know what I mean? Right. That kind of shit. But it made me really have even more empathy and love for him. He's gone now. You know, God bless the dead. But I saw these kids that were just from poverty. They were just poor kids. So they talked about how at first with the older guys at that time, they had, you know, done big feathers and balls and things. It made them feel good about themselves. It was an alternative feeling to poverty. And then the kids got into designer. You know, it was Yves Saint Laurent, that kind of thing. Right. And they presented themselves that way. But I didn't know there were all these subcategories of what was real or what could I. And I just said, wow, this really is a group of human beings that created another reality for themselves as an alternative to pain and desperation. Right. Essentially, I participate in that through hip hop. Right. Essentially, kids who are sports heads participate in that through sports. If you hear somebody ever talk about jiu-jitsu, you'll think they're talking about a religion. You understand what I'm saying?
For sure.
So for me, that helped expand my understanding in a way that I cannot go forward not understanding. You know what I mean? I can go forward disagreeing or agreeing or saying, but I can't go forward
without not understanding.
Exactly. And that so for me, I'm on a mission or a journey in life trying to understand more. And
I always say that about like the abortion thing. Like however you feel about the abortion thing, obviously I'm a pro-choice guy within reason, but like the other side I get. If you feel like it's murder, I can't even say nothing to you. Yeah. I understand your perspective, and I understand why you're so passionate about it. I might not agree, but you got your stance, and I get it. People have to be more like aware of like other people's perspective because you work with people who you don't agree with every day. You're gonna stand in line next to somebody at Subway with somebody you don't agree with every day.
To hear them out, even if you disagree. And
you could disagree.
I got a television show called Love and Respect. We just won an Emmy for it. Won a daytime and won an Emmy for interview with Bernice King, Dr. King's youngest daughter, Dr. MLK's youngest daughter.
I remember seeing it. Yeah.
But this show is all about just having conversations with people I might agree or disagree with. You know, and I've disagreed with blatantly liberal people, disagreed with blatantly conservative people on here. And my thing is at the end of each talk, though, I've connected more with another human being. And I think that should be ultimately that's be what we're pushing for. So even in matters of business, if I'm selling a product, it's because it's from a place of my own humanity. I wanted a barbershop. I think barbershops are cool places to buy my T-shirts and socks because I don't want to buy it at the fucking gas station. So my barbershop sells a branded Heather Gray black and white T-shirt.
Oh, that's fire. You can go get your white tee at the barbershop.
You can get your white tee right there. And it matches your J's. It's the same Heather Gray. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to go in the beauty supply store with my cousins with the fucking caps on their head and my little nieces running through that bitch so you can buy your shampoos and soaps right there. I want to create business that's natural, you know, to me. I just got like 30,000 square foot of warehouse space in Atlanta. We're going to be doing our own, you know, similar shit. Studios,
oh, that's dope, man.
You know, so I'm just trying to leave a legacy of.
You're doing recording studios or just creative space?
Film and audio. So you're gonna be able to do recording studios. You're gonna be able to record your podcast.
Atlanta's the new Hollywood, man.
Yeah, I think.
Shout out to Tyler Perry. Yeah. I mean, his pace is
he's
crazy.
A man. He's watches. I didn't know I was so heavily involved, but they used me a lot in his
Prime movie that just the documentary that came out about him.
Yeah,
I want to watch it because
he's powerful and inspiring.
He's like the boss.
He's powerful.
Like this guy should have owned BET right now. They fucked that up.
Well, something's gonna happen. You don't get it the first time, you know.
No, but it's crazy. He should own a black person should own BET.
Hey, I agree, but we're gonna see. It's gonna happen. Byron Allen wanted it too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think 50 took a shot at it. I want to see. I'm cheering for us all to win.
Yeah, no, 50. I was just we had there's a network that somebody just left recently, and I was like, what if 50 came in and ran that network
Hey,
and had all his own. Like 50 needs his own network. If you
I think it's going to happen.
Like he pops stars off.
I think it's going to happen.
Yeah, it's crazy. Well, listen, man, the album is
Michael.
A piece of art. It's
Thank you.
Beautiful album. Everyone should go listen to it. It's my album of the year. I really actually don't even think it's close.
Yeah,
I mean that with all due respect. Usually I would tell you if I was like, and technically Metro Boomin came out last year, and I love the Metro Boomin album. But this year, I don't think it's close.
Shouts out to Metro.
I don't think it's close. Yeah. There's not another album that has even made me quite. Because usually I'm like, man, by the time December hits, you're like, damn, it's like 3 or 4. It's only one, and then the rest.
And just sit down. And if y'all think it's, man, just sit down and listen. Listen with open heart. Man, you ain't got to like me, but boy, it's gonna be hard not to love this album.
100%, man. Hey, I wonder, are you going back on Rogan anytime soon? I know that's a friendship you've developed over the years.
Yeah, Rogan is just Rogan. First of all, definitely friendship. Love him to death, and his whole staff over there. Those guys are great.
Have you been to the Comedy Mothership yet?
Yes, I went over there stoned as shit. He saw this.
How was it?
It was amazing. He put me up in the seats in the balcony. It was hella dark. No one even knew I was in there. It was dope. I had a great time. Rogan, man, I just want to say, man, he to me, man, he stands on the side of truth tellers. You know, people don't always agree with him. He doesn't always agree with people. We don't always agree with one another. But man, there's something to be said for letting people have platform to just discuss agreeances and disagreements. So
I agree.
You know, I value it for that reason. You know, value him as a human for that reason. And he taught me the beauty of eating elk meat and peppers. Cause God damn, that
I've seen those posts. I haven't ever had. Have you had?
You should have elk meat. Yeah,
it's
you
good?
should have it. It's good. It's a venison of sorts. You know what I mean? It's
So you
sweet deer meat. You got to remember, we eat deer and hog. You know, that's what you.
I feel so terrible. Me and that Mexican OT just killed hogs and left them.
Yeah, I mean, like you should have. I mean, I'm just, I guess you ain't got to eat every hog. But if you gonna, eventually you should eat a hog you kill.
We had to have loaded them into the helicopter.
Yeah. But sometimes there are trucks too that are out there.
Right.
So I would think, but they don't eat any of the hogs.
No, they just leave them.
Where my grandpa was from, man, there was hog farms down there, so they grow hog. They slaughtered the hog there, and they'd already have dug a pit into the ground. So my grandmother cooked the hogs above ground, like in Tuskegee, where my grandpa was from. They cooked their hogs in the ground. Totally
That's
different
fire.
type of flavor.
I bet you the flavor's crazy.
Oh man, so fucking good.
That's what I said. The same thing. I'm like, guys, can we take something from this hog so I don't feel as bad? They're like, nah, coyotes will eat them. Somebody's gonna eat it.
Damn.
Like there's too many of them. There's millions of them.
That's when you know Texas got all the money. That's when you know you're rich as fuck. Yeah. You just go, man, I'm a little stressed. I'm gonna kill some fucking hogs.
That's really it. Yeah. Anyway, I appreciate you pulling up, Mike.
Man, love and respect.
First of all, congrats on the nominee. And I listen, February I think is when the Grammys are.
Yeah, February 4, I believe.
So
I want to party with us, man. So hey, man, y'all send me a lot of good energy, man. And the people on the Grammy committees, man. I just want to say I want to implore that you get an album and listen with an open heart. You know?
Yeah.
It's no better representation of rap in its 50th year than this album.
I don't know how the Grammys work. I just know that, they've gotten some stuff right and they've gotten some stuff wrong. They got it right that they nominated you, and let's hope they get it right.
Let's bring it all the way in. Yeah.
You got to bring one of them 3 home.
Yeah. I want the one I want.
Rap album of the year.
It covers everything.
Yeah,
100%,
man. There it is, man. Killer Mike, my guy. Appreciate you, brother.
Love and respect,
yes,
bro.
Sir.
Yes, sir.
Fire. Man, of course, I want to shout out to our family at Hardin, baby. Hardin, Las Vegas, celebrating their 7th birthday this month. So happy birthday to Hardin. Want to give a shout out to the whole family over there. When you're in Las Vegas, you got to pull up to Hardin. Tell them that the Bootleg Kev podcast sends you. They're going to take care of you. It is the craziest selection of premium cannabis in the country, all under one roof. You walk in, and it's just a vibe. Beautiful bud tenders, amazing smoke. Just the illest merch, you know what I'm saying? And it's right in Las Vegas, right in Sin City. So you land in Vegas, you about to go gamble with your boys. You get in that cab, you say, take me to Hardin. They're going to know exactly where to take you, all right? Shout out to Hardin. Go follow them, Hardin_Las Vegas, or go to the website, hardinlasvegas.com.